Humility and aggression, two things that work together beautifully. If you can be aggressively humble, your life will be powerful, and that's a part of the story of Easter. Hey, my name is Brian. Welcome to My Garage Bible Study. It's My Garage Bible Study in my garage, and I'm really excited to be with you this Easter week. It's also known as Holy Week. It's that week leading up into under the resurrection. You got a bunch of things that are happening that week. You've got what I'm now being heard. I can't believe I've never heard it called this before. Angry Monday, which apparently is when Jesus actually overturned the tables, was on a Monday of that Holy Week. I haven't gone back to look at that. It may be, but interesting. Angry Monday, okay. Angry Monday, and then there's Wednesday, which is, there's Thursday, which is a big day, Maundy Thursday, which is the night of the Last Supper. And of course, there's Friday, which is Good Friday, which there's not a lot of good that happened on Friday from Jesus' perspective because he ends up getting crucified. But it's good for us that he actually gets crucified. And then obviously Sunday, Easter Sunday. I want to talk about something else in the midst of all of that stuff that I think is pretty important for us to understand the character of Christ and also understand one of the heroes of our faith, the Apostle Peter. We're going to take a look at the book of Matthew today. Matthew chapter 26, different portions in it. We see that Jesus is having his Last Supper Maundy Thursday with the rest of it. Maundy. What does that, Maundy? I used to know what that meant. That was an old seminary word. It's a religious word. I used to know what that means. I don't anymore. Man, gosh. Here I am in the garage Bible study. I know more about micrometers than I do Monday. So anyway, whatever Monday was, here it is Thursday. They're actually having their Last Supper, and Jesus is building into his guys, and he says something pretty profound to Peter. Here's what he says. Peter answered, "Though they all fall away because of you, I will never fall away." That's actually fascinating to me. Verse 33, Peter said, "Though they all may fall away," though they all fall away, it doesn't say they all may, they all fall away, I never will. He says, all these weenie boys over here, they got some problems with their faith, but me, I will never fail away. Boy, never act pridefully. You could be prideful, but never act prideful. It's one thing to have an internal dialogue with yourself about how great you are. It's another thing to bring it out in front of other people. Peter goes, all these losers. Jesus, we know, most of it, they're going to be gone. But me, I will never forsake you. And then Jesus says, truly I tell you, this very night, before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. 3 times you'll deny me. In the Hebrew world, this is the way to emphasize intensity. They didn't have words like and est, like good, better, best, or run, runner, runnest. Well, what's another one? Holy, holier, holiest. They didn't have that. They would repeat it 3 times. So to say something 3 times is the ultimate in that thing. And so Jesus is saying, you're going to deny me, not just deny me, you're going to outright deny me, like incredibly eliminate me from your vocabulary. Peter says, absolutely not, never, ever, ever. Then he goes over, Peter watches Jesus get arrested, and then Jesus is taken over to Caiaphas' house. And I've been there a number of times. It is a fascinating sight over in Jerusalem. The original stone, the original steps still stay there. Original as in they haven't been rebuilt for 2,000 years. No, they've probably been rebuilt with the very stone. But definitely that path, Jesus would have come and walked up that path to Caiaphas' house, the high priest, where he would have been tried. And at that place where I've been a number of times, it's a really, really, really cool, special place. Peter is asked for the 3rd time who he is. Let's just read it. It says this, verse 69. Now Peter was sitting outside in the courtyard, and a servant girl came up to him and said, "You were also with Jesus the Galilean." And he denied it before them, saying, "I do not know what you mean." And when he went out of the entrance, Another servant girl saw him, and she said to the bystanders, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." And again, he denied it with an oath. I do not know the man. I do not know the man. After a little while, the bystanders came up and said to Peter, "Certainly, you too are one of them, for your accent betrays you." So apparently, whatever region most of the disciples were from, they had an accent, and he's got an accent. They're like, no, we get that accent, whatever that accent is. Then he began to invoke a curse on himself and to swear, this is Peter, "I do not know the man." And immediately the rooster crowed. That was the sign that he was going to deny him 3 times, that he would hear a rooster crow. He hears the rooster crow, and he went and he wept bitterly. On top of Caiaphas' house, what they've installed, somebody did a while ago, they installed a weather vane with a rooster, because there is a rooster. Now, a lot of things we can learn from this Holy Week. One, we can learn pride. Let's never think more highly of ourselves. Some of us right now, we're really excited about ourselves because we feel so holy and religious, because I go to church on Holy Week. In fact, I don't just go on Easter Sunday. I go on midweek service, I go on Monday, Thursday service, and I go on the Good Friday service, whatever your church might have, or whatever churches are in your area. We just get really excited about it because I am committed. I'm not one of these CEOs, Christmas and Easter only. I'm not a creaster. I am committed. You gotta be really careful. You start thinking these things and talking these things, you just get closer and closer to Peter, who started denying those things. Peter is so secure in his salvation. He's so secure in his purity. He's so secure in his strength and his fortitude and his convictions. He's so, everybody else might fall away. Me, never me. And what do you know? He gets humbled. So we need to learn that. Humility this Easter. The second thing we need to learn and understand is that Peter is universally judged because of this. Peter is universally dismissed because of, oh, Peter, stupid Peter. He's always saying things he shouldn't say. He's always doing things he shouldn't do, stepping out of boats into water and pulling out a sword and whacking off people's ears. That was another part of the story here. All kinds of things. But you know what he does? He's always moving. He always goes. The reason I think Peter was one of Jesus' favorite disciples, and he is, there's 3 of them, Peter, James, and John, who get special priority and special opportunity to see things that others don't. I think Jesus is so into Peter because Peter is aggressive. He is assertive. Yes, he says stupid things like, hey, all the rest of them may fall, but I'm never going to fall. But he's also the one who steps out of the boat, and we look at him stepping out of the boat and we think, well, but he sunk. He looked at the wind and the waves. Yeah, but he stepped out of the boat. He stepped out. He got moving, got going. Well, he pulls out a sword and he whacks off somebody's ear. Yeah, but he was defending his friend. If you were my friend, I want you to defend me. Yes, he was. Well, he denied Christ 3 times. Yes, he did. It was awful. He was prideful, and he wasn't as strong as he was. He thought he was, and it was awful. And he was in that position because he was the only disciple still there. They all already had abandoned him. They already had. They scattered like cockroaches in the night. When they saw the authorities coming to take away Jesus, they all took off. He's the only one who said, okay, I'm gonna kind of hang back here. Is he thinking he might be able to break Jesus out at some point? Is he thinking that? Is he thinking that maybe Jesus sees me, he's encouraged? Is he thinking, I just want to be around Jesus in case something happens? We don't know, but what we know is he is there. And he denies Christ 3 times, and the rooster crows, and his sin of pride, and his weakness in that moment, and his sin of denying Christ is memorialized and is known to all people in all corners of the globe in all time periods. And Jesus still loves him. And Jesus still dies for him. And Jesus still comes to him after he is resurrected. Here I am in my garage. Someone's flushing something right above. It's my garage Bible study. Yeah, I got a toilet above my garage. My daughter and son-in-law live up there, and they're flushing something. So excuse me if you can hear that. What was I saying? What was I saying? It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me. Yes, I got it. So as Peter was denying Christ, he was going to have Jesus die for his sin and your sin and my sin in just a few short hours. It's that same Jesus who laid down his life for Peter as well as for you and I. It is that same Spirit that brought Jesus back from the dead, that same Spirit that would go inside of Peter and fill him, the Holy Spirit fill him and comes inside of us and fills us. That's Easter. All of us are in a long line of sinners, a long line of people who have denied Christ in one way or another at some point in our life if we aren't right now. And all of us get in on the best deal going. That's the grace of Jesus. And the most power available is made available to us. That is the power of the Holy Spirit. You think about that this Easter. You walk humbly before your God this Easter, and you're going to have an amazing Easter. Let me pray for you. God, you are so patient with frail people like me. You are so forgiving with rebellious people who deny you like me. You are so empowering to those of us who cannot do life on our own, like me. I pray that you would help me have a great eye-opening Easter, and all the rest of us. You'd help us to see you as you are, to celebrate you, and to receive you in a more powerful and unique way this Easter that endures the rest of our life. And I pray these things according to your name, Jesus. Amen. See you next time on My Garage Bible Study.